What's going on, you degenerates? Today I've got a watch from Citizen. This is from the Promaster Tough series. Some of you may refer to it as the Ray Mears model, and while this specific BN0241 isn't exactly the Ray Mears version, for all intents and purposes, they're pretty much the same exact watch. My personal hot take is that the watch was, at first, unpleasantly fat and gray. I was expecting a more silver-toned brushed case and something a little bit thinner, but instead I received a darker, more gunmetal watch and a chunkier case height. Neither of those attributes are necessarily bad, but they can be when you're not expecting them, so I want to make sure you guys were aware, if you're interested in getting this watch, that it's not as silver and thin as you'd maybe hoped it to be. So with that out of the way, the watch is exactly what you'd expect from a Citizen Promaster. Citizen Promasters are the gold standard when it comes to a complete package at an attainable price, and this tough watch is no exception. For price, you're looking at a MSRP of $575, but realistically you can find these hovering around $400. The dimensions are fine and pretty standard. I mentioned earlier how I was expecting a thinner watch, but even at 14mm it's not bad. I do think there is an optical illusion from the bezel, as it is quite bulbousy and makes that 14mm stick out more. On the wrist it wears like a dream, and is almost comically light because of the titanium. For reference, I have a 7 3/4 inch wrist. The watch comes in a monocoque case, which is a signature feature of Citizen Tough watches. This means that the case and caseback are all one single milled piece of titanium, greatly increasing its overall strength and resistance to anything. You don't really need to worry about opening the caseback because this watch comes with a solar-powered eco-drive movement, which is essentially a bulletproof, worry-free machine that will outlast any interest you have in the watch. As with all Citizen eco-drive watches, this watch is rated for plus or minus 15 seconds per month, a 6-month battery reserve, overcharge protection, and quick start functionality. It also comes with a sapphire crystal, a screw down crown, absolutely legendary Citizen loom, and a water resistance rating of 200 meters. The dial has a modified California dial that is very simple and straightforward. There's also a date complication at 3 o'clock, which I personally find blends in just fine. This no frills dial execution makes it very easy to read both during the day and in the dark. Moving on to the crown, in my opinion, this is the star of the show. Generic, plain case designed watches like this are a dime a dozen. It's the small details that can make a watch stand out, and in this case, it's the neural texturing that transforms this watch from generic to exceptionally juicy. Add in the embossed Promaster logo, Rolex-esque crown guards, and what you have is a really professional looking thing. Crown action is solid and in keeping with the overall theme of the watch, which is absolute toughness. Here's a closer look at the bracelet. Nothing special, but nothing wrong either. The milled dual push button clasp has 3 micro adjust positions, and while I usually prefer more, these were spread out far enough for me to get a perfect fit. The finishing is objectively outstanding. It comes with Citizen's proprietary Duratect coating, which makes this already tough watch almost scratch proof. Personally, I am not a fan of the flat, bead blasted surface, but I understand why it's there, and my distaste for it is completely unfounded. That covers just about all the basic things on the Citizen Tough. It's a great looking thing that is gonna tickle a lot of you gear junkies out there. In a world oversaturated with tech and luxury, it's nice to have something like this that simplifies it all and focuses solely on pure utility. That's it for now. Stay classy. I sure as hell won't.